Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is YAHMAD. We're going to be looking at paper 2 from the Information Communication Technology course, course code 0417. So we're going to be doing paper 2 from May-June 2018. So this is a 2 hour and 30-minute long paper. This paper includes document production, data manipulation and presentations. So let's go down to the first section. So we're going to perform some clerical tasks, okay, for the university. So we will be taking print screens onto the evidence document throughout this exam paper. So let's open up the evidence document first of all. So RTF file, which is rich text format. So we go to the folder, let me double check. So we need to open a file J218 evidence.rtf, which is this one here. So let's open it up. Okay, so we need to make sure that your name, center number and candidate number will appear on every page of this document. So we need to insert a header. Okay, so enable editing. So to insert a header, you click on insert header, always select the one of the three columns, so this one here. So let me include my name. Okay, now we'll be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the center and candidate numbers. So as you can see, we will be taking a number of different print screens throughout this exam paper. Right, so let's have a look. Save this as a word process document into your area as J218 evidence followed by your candidate number. So my candidate number will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you're saving, you need to ensure you save it not as a rich text format. You need to save it as a Word document. Okay, and save it into the same area. Let me just write down the name, 1, 2, 3, 4. So into the same folder. If you're not sure, you can click up here and you can choose the same folder. Yep, I want to save it in the source files as a Word document. Save. Okay, so you will need to place screenshots and answers to questions in this evidence document. So we will be referring back to this evidence document throughout this exam. Okay, now let's look at task 2, document. So now we're going to be editing a Word document. So you're going to edit report. The university uses a corporate house style for all of their documents. Paragraph styles must be created and applied as instructed. Okay, so let's first of all open a file. So J218 employee.rtf. So again, it's a rich text format file. So let me go to my folder. So rich text format, J218 employee. Okay, so make sure you click on enable editing. Alright, so let's see what we have to do. The page setup is set to A4 landscape orientation with margins of 2 centimeters. Do not make any changes to these settings, so we can skip that part then. Save this document into your work area with the file name report. So I'm going to copy this. Make sure it's saved in the format of the software you're using. So again, when we save, we click on save as, we need to ensure we save it as a Word document file, and we can change the name. Okay, if you want to double click to check the folder, yep, it's going to be called report and it's going to be Word document file in that particular format. So we can press save. Okay, make sure the file is saved in format. We've done that. So the first evidence is place in your evidence document a screenshot to show the file has been saved. Make sure there's evidence of the file type. So if I go to my folder, we can see this is the name of the new file. The file type is also shown. So if I increase this, the new file is called report and it's a Microsoft Word document. So let me take a print screen. And if I go to my evidence document, evidence 1 is a print screen of the file that's been saved. So what we can do, we can double click on the picture and we can crop out the parts we don't need. Okay, and we're going to include the headings. So now if I increase the size of this picture, we can see name, date modified and types. So it's really important we've got a name and actually the type. So this is a new file, report, and the format of the type is Microsoft Word document. So that's the first print screen. So what we should do is just, let me just save this and let's go back to the question. Okay. So now we're on question 2, so place in the header. So always I go for the option for the 3 columns for the header, so insert, header, blank 3 columns. So this allows us to align things on the left, center or right. So let's have a look what we have to do. So the automated page numbers left align. So if you click on the left hand side and you click on page numbers, you can insert a page number in a current position. Okay, so we've got 1 there, that's fine. Automated file size in kilobytes, right aligned. So automated file size in kilobytes, right aligned. So we can delete this one in the middle. Okay, so to insert the file size, let's click on the right heading, click on insert and quick parts. So this is actually the first time I can remember they've asked us to insert the file size. So quick parts field. So if you go to quick parts and field, there's all sorts of things that we can insert into the header. So we're looking to include the file size, but let me go back and have a look at the question. So the automated file size in kilobytes, right aligned. So I've selected file size, and then I need to click on this option here to show it the file size in kilobytes. Okay, and here we have a number which shows the file size is 25 kilobytes. So place your name, center number and candidate number right aligned in the footer. So let me close this, so double click. Again, let's go to insert, this time footer. Let's go always with the 3 columns. So always make sure you put your details in the right order. So my name, then the center number, which would be 5, 6, 7, 8, then the candidate number 1, 2, 3, 4, right aligned in the footer. So click on the right hand side, name, center number, and then the candidate number. Right, let's see what else. It's nothing else. So make sure that all of the alignments match the page margins. So what that means is basically the text is lined with the headers and footers are in line with the columns, as you can see, or the ends of the text here. So as you can see, the text is aligned. We don't need to include these, so we can delete the center and the left footer. We can close the header and footer. If you go to file and print preview as well, you can see the header has been inserted, so you've got the page number, the size in kilobytes, and then your name and your center number and candidate number at the bottom. So if you go to the next page, you can see also the header and footer details appear on every page. Okay, and the information has been aligned within the margins. Right, so let's have a look at the next question. So notable text is included, yep. Headings and footers are displayed on all pages, yep, we've just checked for that. So let's move on now to question 3. So we're going to now create and store the following styles based in each on the default paragraph style. Okay, so we're going to be making these house style specifications. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different styles which we're going to make. So to make the styles, what we need to do, if you click on home, if you go to styles, there's a little option here. If you click, and it brings up this window, so we can drag it and attach it to the right hand side, and we want to click here to make a new style. So it's really important that you type in the name exactly as it appears. So the first style is gr-title into this window here, so you need to ensure you include the exact title. So the first thing, first piece of information is the font style. So it's going to be serif. So if it's serif, always go with Times New Roman. Okay, and you can see the preview of the text here. The font size will be 36. The alignment will be center. So we can change that to 36. The text will be aligned center. The enhancements will be bold and italic. So bold and italic. So as we can see, there's a preview below. That's the first style done. You can press OK. So it doesn't matter that this text has changed because we're going to be applying the styles later on anyway. So that's the first style done. The line spacing was single, so we didn't have to change, and there was no spacing before or after the style. Now we're going to make the GR subtitle style. Again, it's going to be a serif font, so we can go for Times New Roman. So enter the name exactly as it appears. So Times New Roman. Size will be 18, and this time it's going to be right alignment. So if I click on 18 and change the alignment so it comes from the right hand side, this time the enhancements will be underlined, so we need to take off the bold and italic, which has been left on from the previous style. So we take off the bold and italic, but we need to underline, so always check the preview as you're going along. And single line spacing, no space after or no space before, so we can change, or we don't need to change anything else. Yep, I'm happy with that. So we've got two styles so far, the subtitle and the title style. So now we're going to make the GR subhead style. So again, it's going to be serif, so we can stick with Times New Roman. So again, enter the name exactly as it appears, Times New Roman. Size of the font will be 16, and this time center aligned. So we can change this to 16. This time the text will be center aligned. The enhancements will be underline and italic. So underline and italic. So italic and underline. And we have single line spacing. So the line spacing is here. So we can keep it as single. So it just creates a space between the lines. And this time we have to have a space after each paragraph basically, or each subheading. So the space after will be 9. So to include a space after, we click on Format, Paragraph, and a space after we can include 9. Okay. So as you can see, we'll create an automatic space after each subheading when we apply the style. Okay, so that's a third style created. Now we're going to create the GR body text. So this will be this, the style which will be applied to the main text. So again, if we click on this icon to create a new style, so GR-body, this time it will be sans serif, so we can go for Arial. So normally I say if you see serif, go for Times New Roman. If it's sans serif, go for Arial. Okay, so Arial, what size is the font? It's 11, and the alignment will be justified. So let's change it to 11. You can justify the text here. If you don't see justify in this option, you can also go to Format Paragraph and select Justified from this option from here as well. So Justified basically makes sure it's straight on both sides. Okay, so there will be no enhancements, single line spacing, and a 6-point space after each paragraph. So we need to take off the italic and we need to take off the underline. So always double check the preview, and we need to include the space after, which in this case will be 6 points. So if you come to here, so not 9.6 points. Okay, and now we come to the last style, so the GR bullet. So if you click again on the icon to create a new style, enter the name. So this time is serif, so we can change this now back to Times New Roman. Okay, size of the font will be 14. So the alignment will be 3 cm indent from the left with hanging paragraphs. So if I go to format paragraph, so let's do the indentation first of all. So it's going to be 3 cm indent from the left. So if I change this to 3, okay, all capitals. So what we need to do is, if we click on OK, sometimes you need to look at all of the different settings. So if I go to font, I'm hoping I can see all caps. Yep, all caps. So sometimes they will introduce new things into the exam, so you have to look at all of the options, and the bullet points will be like this shape here. So if I go to maybe numbering and click on bullets, I can select this option here. So if I'm being honest, I wasn't sure where I was looking, but you just have to look and try and find the certain things you're looking for. Okay, so if you're not sure, I would go through all of them until you find what it is that you're looking for. So hanging, we've got the indentation. Let me just double check again. Let me just change that to 3 centimeters. Okay, so I noticed it changed. Okay. Yep, I'm happy. Single line spacing and no space after. So let me just double check if there's any spacing after. So if we go to paragraph, no space after, so we can get rid of that space. Okay, so hanging as well. Okay, so that's all of the styles done. Let's just highlight that. So for evidence 2, take a screenshot to show the style settings have been defined for GR subhead paragraph style. So we need to show this one here and then show that in our evidence document. Because we've got space after, we need to also show evidence that we've included space after. So if you go to your Word document, GR subhead, so if we just modify this, okay, I'm going to take my first, actually if I go click on format paragraph and put that to the side, we can also see these settings as well. So I can take a print screen of both this and this as well. So if I now go to my evidence document, and again, you want to ensure your print screens are clear. Obviously, if they're not clear, you're not going to receive the marks. And then you can increase the size to ensure all of the information is shown. So you've got the style here, you've got the serif font, okay, and then you can see the 9 points there as well has been added. Right, so let's go to question 4. Display these custom style names as a list in the style manager organizer. So what that basically means is we need to show it in a list like this. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different styles that we created. If we go back to the question paper, provide a screenshot evidence that these styles have been created, named and saved. So take a screenshot for evidence 3 to show the style names have been created and saved. So what we do, we want to print screen this basically. So again, if I press print screen, for evidence 3, I'm just going to move this onto, actually let's see if it'll fit on here. So if I paste, oh no, that's the old print screen. Let me go back to here again, print screen. Yep, so we've got the styles on the right hand side. So what we can do, we can crop off the sections we don't need. And then you want to increase the size so you can clearly see the styles have been saved. So I can get rid of the last two because we only want to show the styles really that we created. Crop. Okay, so if it goes on to the next page, and it doesn't matter as long as the print screen is clear. So let me just move this heading down. Okay, so that's that done. Okay, question 4 is done. Right, question 5. At the start of a document, enter the title, Graduate Employment Report. So make sure when you're typing in this text, you're careful to include capital letters or lowercase letters, okay, so that you could end up losing marks if you don't include capital letters. So at the start, we need to include the title. So if we go to start, if we press enter and just move up, I can paste in this information. Obviously in the exam you'd be expected to write it in. Apply the GR title style to this text. So if you highlight the text and then you can click on the side, GR title. Okay, so that should be center aligned, bold and italic, and at Times New Roman font, and it looks correct so far. So always check as you're going along. So question 5 is complete. Question 6, enter your name immediately after the subtitle, edited by, and then apply the GR subtitle style to this text. So edited by, and then we can include your name, and then we can highlight and we can apply the subhead style. So the subhead style, or subtitle, sorry, this one here. So always double check the subtitle is, put my text on the right hand side. Yes, it's underlined, serif and 18. Let me double check. Yep, it looks right to me. So let's keep going. Right, so question 6 is done. Apply the GR body style to the rest of this document. So now we're going to apply the body style to the rest of this document. So if you highlight all of the text, and this is now where we have to be careful. Sometimes when you click on GR body, it may not change all of the text. In this case it has changed it. Okay, so as you can see, all of it looks the same. Sometimes it may not work the first time, so what you'd have to do is highlight the text, click on clear all, and then click on GR body. So you need to ensure, if you go through, the text is consistent and the style has been applied to all of the text shown. Right, so now we need to look at question 8. Change the page layout so the subheading, the skills gap, and all of the following text is displayed in 2 equally spaced columns with 2 cm space in between the columns. So let's find the heading, the skills gap. So it's basically this heading here. So we're not starting from here, we're starting from here. We need to highlight all of the text, and we're going to put this text into 2 columns. So if we go to layout, columns, always select more columns. We can select 2, and the spacing between the 2 columns will be is it 2 centimeters? Yeah, 2 centimeters. So if I can include or increase the size, you can see now we'll have a space of 2 centimeters. Make sure it's not inches here. Make sure your computer is set with the UK settings, so it's not inches, it's 2 centimeters. Okay, so have a look, and yep, it looks fine to me. So we've done this question here. Question 9. Apply the GR bullet style to list of items from communication to enthusiasm. So if you're trying to find some information, you can also use the find feature. So I can see communications that is down here, but if you wanted to, you can also click on find and type in the word you're looking for. So as soon as you start typing in, it highlights communication. So we want to basically apply the bullet style, so from communication to enthusiasm. So GR bullet, and you can see you got the style shown in a house style here. Okay, so all capitals, shaped bullets, and looks like it's 3 centimeters indented. Right, so let's keep going. So we can highlight and we can say we've done this task here. Question 10. Identify the 8 subheadings in a document and apply the GR subhead style to each one. So let me just highlight this. I'm going to press save because I don't think I've saved it in a while, so we should always be saving our work. So we've got 8 subheadings, so that's the first one. You can press Control and then highlight more than one at a time, so 2 or 3. I think that's another one. So it's going to be GR subhead, and let me just double check. It should make it center aligned. Yeah, underline and italic. Yep, it looks underlined and italic and center aligned. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Should have 4 more. So I've got 1, 2, yeah. So again, you can press Control to select more than one heading. And then we can click on GR subhead. Yep, I'm happy with that so far. Okay. So again, I'm just going to save before we move forward. Okay, now let's look at question 11. So, using the data in the file j218skills.csv, create a vertical bar chart to show the skills shortage vacancies by percentages only. So let me first of all open up this CSV file, so j218skills. So if you go to your folder, j218skills, so let's open it up. Okay, so if you increase this column size, we got some jobs here, or skills. We got the vacancies, and then we got the percentage. Remember, we have to show the percentage. So using the data in the file j218skills.csv, create a vertical bar chart. So vertical goes up like this to show the skills shortages, vacancies by percentage only. So what we can do, we can highlight the skills, and then we can highlight the percentage. So you'll notice I'm highlighting 2 columns and having one left out. So what you need to do is you need to press Control and keep your finger pressed on Control to select another column. If you don't press Control, the column gets deselected. So you want to basically press and keep Control down, select the skills and then a percentage. To create the graph, we need to click on Insert, click on the bar chart option, and then click on this option here. So this is a vertical bar chart. That would be horizontal, but we want the vertical, which goes up. Okay, so let's have a look. Label a chart with the title. So I always go with quick layouts number 9. So make sure the graph is selected. So design quick layouts number 9. That gives you an axis or title for the axes here. So if we need to use them, we can double click and insert a title here if we needed to. But for now, it's saying we need to label a chart with the title types of skill in short supply. So again, when you are typing this in, make sure you're careful about using capital letters or lowercase letters, and make sure you don't make any spelling mistakes. Right, so that's that done. I'm going to come back to question 13 in a second. So what we need to do first of all is question 14, display data labels above each bar. So what that means is if I click on a bar and if we right click and then if we go across the data labels, we can add the data labels. So it's basically the different percentages along the top. We don't need to display a legend. So the legend is this box here. So if you had different colors, you see like a little key code on the right hand side, so we can delete this. We also don't need to show these axes here, so we can delete these axes. Okay, so let me just highlight this. Now we have to format the axes, okay? So this has come up maybe once or twice before now. So the maximum value will be 0.48. So if that was a percentage, it would be 48%. Okay, and we're going to be incrementing by 6%. So what you can do, this is the axis which we have to format. So if you highlight it and right click, you can select format axes. Okay, so the maximum number we're going to have is going to be 0.48, which is 48%. So we can change that. And we want the units we want to increment by is going to be 6. Okay, so we can change that to 6%, so 0.06. And then if you click here, you'll see automatically the axis has been formatted. So that's that done. So now what we have to do, we have to insert the chart after the paragraph ending skills as being in short supply. So I'm just going to copy this. If I go back to my Word document and click on find, and if I just type that in, so we basically need to insert the graph after this line here or paragraph. So if I press enter to create a space, so insert the chart after paragraph ending. Yep, I found that paragraph. Make sure the chart fits within a column. All labels are displayed in full. So to insert the graph, we can just highlight it and we can copy. If we go to Word, we can right click and we can paste in. I always go for this option here, so keep source formatting and embedded workbook. As you can see, the graph is aligned with the columns. Okay, so obviously if the graph was like this, then it's not aligned within a column. So the graph has to be aligned within the columns, and if you go with that setting when you paste it in, that second option, automatically it does it for you. Let me close this down. Just going to zoom out slightly so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so question 15 is done. Now for question 16, we're going to import the image J218 volunteer.jpg and place this below the subheading volunteering projects. So again, what we can do, we can copy and paste this, or in the exam you can click on find and you can type this in. So underneath here, we're going to insert a picture underneath this title here. Okay, so to insert the picture, we need to click on insert picture, go to your source files folder, and let me just double check what's the name. So the file is j218 volunteer.jpg. So we can select the file and then we can click on insert. Okay, so what we now need to do is format this picture. So format the image so that it's resized 2.5 centimeters wide with the aspect ratio maintained. So what that means is we're not squashing it like this, we need to maintain a proportion. So the best way of doing that is double click on the picture and we can insert the size here. So you can decrease, or you can just simply type in 2.5%. I'm almost there now, so 2.5% going across. Okay, it is aligned to left margin and top of the paragraph, starting many employers' favorite applications. Yeah, so what we can do, we can click on wrap text and select tight. So it's going to be aligned at the top, so make sure it's aligned within the columns at the top of the line. So if you can see the green lines, that's a guide for you. Let me just double check again. Yeah. So it is aligned to left margin and the top of the paragraph starting many employers' favorite applicants. The text wraps around the image. Yep, so we've done that. So format to paragraph that starts a worker. Let me just, with inadequate, let me just find that now. So find. Okay, so what we do need to do, let me have a look here. Format the paragraph that starts a worker with inadequate so that it is indented by 2 centimeters from both the left and right hand margins and displays an external 3 to 4 point black border. So we just want to highlight this paragraph here. Okay, if you click on this option here, underneath paragraph we can select some settings. So the indentation will be 2 centimeters from both the left and the right hand margins. So we can say from the left it's going to be 2 centimeters. Make sure it's centimeters, and then from the right it will also be 2 centimeters. So as you can see, it's indented from the left and also indented from the right. Okay, and then what we need to do is display an external 3 to 4 point black border. So we can come up to here, borders, and we can actually let's go to borders and shading, because we need to be specific of the size of the border. So we want like a box, and the size will be from 3 to 4 points. So that's the correct size now. We can also do a shading, but we can do that in a second. So we've done question 18. Apply light grey shading, so 10 to 25% to fill this area, so it looks like this. So the shading, we can use the paint bucket, so I think it's 10 to 15%. Let me just have a look again. So yeah, 10 to 25, so we can use 15%. So if you keep your mouse long enough on a colour, you'll see a percentage. So we can select this colour here. Okay, so let's move forward. So we're almost done now. So spell check and proofread a document. So to spell check, if you go to review, okay, yeah, check document. Let's check for spelling. Okay, so skill developed program. So I'm just going to right click and yeah, so programmers, I think that's that spelling done. So resume, many employees favor, yeah, we'll keep that as it is. Organization, yeah, that looks fine to me. Let's go to the next one. Ignore that one. So that's the American spelling, we don't want to use that one on a graduate. Let me just right click here, get rid of this. Okay, I'm actually going to leave that spelling mistake. Maybe it's meant to be like that. So prog. Okay, we'll leave that one actually. Right, so before we print, so make sure lists, charts, and the paragraphs with the outside border are not split over 2 columns and pages. So before we print, what we can do is we can zoom out a little bit. Okay, so yep, that's not being split. I can move this title to the next column, so you never leave like a title by itself. So if I press enter, that title comes here, and also now this title comes here as well. So you shouldn't leave title alone. So nothing split over 2 columns like a list. So the list should not be split over 2 columns. If you had a table, that shouldn't normally be split over 2 columns. There's no widows or orphans, so when you had a title by itself, that is classed as an orphan or a widow. Okay, there's no blank pages. The house style specification has been followed and the correct styles applied. The spacing between all items is consistent. So what you don't want is like a big space like this for some reason. So let me just Control Z. So you need to zoom out, double check. You can also go to File, Print, Preview, and we can double check in Print Preview as well all of the pages to ensure the correct styles have been applied, all of the information fits within the margins. Okay, save the document using the same file name as step 1, and then we can print the document. So make sure your name, center number, and candidate number are on the report. So as you can see here, my name, center number, and candidate number. So once you're happy, we can print this. So let me just double check. Yep, I'm happy with that page. This page looks good as well. All of the text is consistent. This has been indented by 2 centimeters. You've got a thick border and 15% grey. And that's the last page. So we can send this to print. And we've come to the end of the Word section. So My advice is, even when you receive the printout in the exam, always double check the house styles have been applied correctly. It's consistent, so you can always come up here and you can self-mark your printout. If you do realize you've made a mistake, you can always print again in the exam. Okay, so we've come to the end of this section. Thank you for listening. Please show your support to the channel, please subscribe, and please share with your friends. Thank you again.